Y'all, imagine stepping into a courtroom expecting a solemn proceeding, only to have it erupt in profanity-laced tirades, flying fists, or even a direct attack on the judge. These aren't scenes from a movie. They're real moments of chaos that shattered courtroom decorum and made headlines around the world. Buckle up for 9 of the most recent jaw-dropping courtroom meltdowns you can't unsee. Picture this: March 4th, 2025, Lake County, Ohio. Manson Bryant stood before Judge Eugene Lucci, awaiting sentencing for aggravated burglary, robbery, kidnapping, and other violent charges. The courtroom was packed, tension thick in the air. Lucci handed down a 22-year sentence, already harsh given Bryant's lifetime of bad decisions. Then, everything blew up. Bryant erupted into a profanity-laced tirade, calling the judge racist and hurling slurs at everyone present.
22 years? You never gave me probation!
Wait a minute.
You never gave me a chance!
He screamed that Lucci was a racist-ass beeg and threatened the court's integrity. The judge, exercising the maximum penalty, tacked on an additional 6 years purely for contempt. What was supposed to be a final chapter turned into a case study on how courtroom outbursts can backfire, even when you've already been found guilty. January 31st, 2025, Albuquerque. A routine homicide hearing spiraled into a full-blown melee when 2 grieving relatives, Carlos Lucero and Pete Isasi, heard the defendant plead guilty. Rage consumed them. Video shows both men leaping from their seats, fists flying.
What started as a routine hearing Friday morning in Albuquerque quickly erupting into chaos when a man got up from his seat in the courtroom, jumped a partition, and tackled the defendant right in front of the judge.
As chaos erupted around the defense table, a woman, Jamie Lucero, joined in, swinging a chair leg. Court officers rushed in, one drawing a stun gun to restore order. The melee, captured on the court's own CCTV, highlighted how raw emotion can burst through courtroom walls. All 3 attackers were arrested on felony charges, turning a supposedly controlled legal process into a viral cautionary tale. January 4th, 2024, Las Vegas. Clark County District Judge Mary Kay Holthus was mid-sentencing when a defendant, identity withheld, leaped over the defense table and lunged at her with clenched fists. Courtroom cameras captured the judge's stunned expression as she stumbled back, only to be shielded by her bailiff.
Last January, a terrifying incident in a Las Vegas courtroom during sentencing. A convicted man launching himself over a Nevada judge's bench and attacking her before being subdued by a law clerk and court marshals.
Officers tackled the assailant within seconds. The entire incident played live on ABC News, sparking debates over courtroom security. It wasn't just an attack on one judge. It was a breach of the fundamental trust that the court is a safe place for justice to be served. You think you've had a rough day? Meet Daryl Jarrell, who blew up in a Michigan courtroom on August 7th, 2024. Facing a simple trespassing charge, Jarrell got frustrated with Judge J. Cedric Simpson's offer to reschedule so he could consult his lawyer. His response?
I'm gonna tell you what, you don't come in here, you don't. Okay, that's contempt, that's 93. Keep going. That's another 93. That's another 93.
It's trespassing? You can kiss my ass. And then, f*** you, again and again. Judge Simpson didn't blink. He handed down 6 consecutive 93-day contempt sentences, totaling 558 days behind bars. Moral of the story? When the gavel drops, profanity has a price. February 10th, 2022, Seminole County, Florida. Judge Wayne Culver was in a bad mood when a man in the gallery wouldn't hush up.
Hold on. Sir, I'm doing something. Can you shut up and sit down? That's not shutting up. You want to be held in contempt and go to jail? I asked you a question, asshole. No, sir. Then shut up.
Sir, I'm doing something. Can you shut up and sit down? He barked. The man explained he was just finding a seat. Culver snapped, then shut up, and mid-proceeding muttered, Jesus Christ, sit down. That flip mode rant went viral, and the Florida Supreme Court threatened him with a 60-day suspension and mandatory anger management. Apparently, judges aren't above courtroom meltdowns either. Imagine standing trial on felony charges, wearing a shirt that says, World's Best Farter. Yes, this actually happened. Judge Raquel West froze mid-hearing, stared at the man, and said, seriously. The courtroom broke into nervous laughs while the judge called it disrespectful and immature. She nearly revoked his bond on the spot, warning him to return next month with an attorney and a shirt that isn't a punchline.
The point is to actually hire someone, and you can't actually hire someone unless you really try.
I'm going to reset your case for 30 days. You need to get someone hired, or you need to actually talk to 3 lawyers.
This wasn't just a poor wardrobe choice. It was a masterclass in how not to show up for court when your freedom is on the line. Tensions over murder sentencing escalated into full-blown violence in a Kansas courtroom. As the judge pronounced the victim's bereaved brother's statement, the defendant's cousin jumped to his feet, started swinging, and a melee erupted around the defense table. Chairs were tossed, shouting broke out, and officers rushed in to break it apart. The YouTube video captures security guards pulling 2 men apart, the judge banging his gavel in vain, and stunned jurors recoiling in shock. This wasn't a TV show. It was raw, emotional eruption spilling over into real violence. It underscores not just the power of grief, but how courtroom proceedings can implode when emotions boil over. A routine sentencing for assault in a UK courtroom spiraled into chaos when former rugby player Mark Smith, pseudonym, suddenly grabbed a chair and hurled it across the courtroom mid-hearing. The chair slammed into the dock as stunned officers rushed to restrain him. Courtroom cameras vividly captured the moment security tackled him to the ground as jurors looked on in disbelief. The tension peaked when Smith screamed, "This is bullshit!"
After some more jawing, Rose takes things up a notch and throws not 1 but 2 chairs at the guards. Those are not folding chairs Rose just tossed. Those are standard office chairs weighing up to 60 pounds or 27 kilograms in Australia.
While wrestling with officers before being dragged out in custody, Judge calmly paused proceedings and later revoked bail, telling Smith, "You've shown contempt for this court. You'll remain in custody until we sort this out." That explosive clip, part of a court cam segment on YouTube, went viral, proving even once professional athletes can lose control under pressure.
Trial of a man who was just convicted of shooting and killing his neighbor over dog waste.
Omar Rodriguez was being sentenced for the second-degree murder of his neighbor, sparked by a dispute over dog poop. As the victim's widow, Lisette Ray, tearfully delivered a victim impact statement, Rodriguez suddenly jumped to his feet and shouted, "The coward was your husband." He cried like a baby. Security quickly escorted him out, but not before the courtroom gasped. With Lisette visibly paused in her grief, he continued to rant while being removed, prompting stunned silence and emotional turmoil. The judge ultimately sentenced him to life in prison, but that chilling interruption left the courtroom and online viewers reeling. And there you have it, 9 real courtroom meltdowns that prove sometimes the drama doesn't end with the verdict. Whether it's a flying fist, a flying chair, or just flying profanity, these moments remind us that courtrooms aren't always calm and orderly. If you thought court was boring, think again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your favorite moment in the comments. I'll be watching minus the gavel.